So I'm seeing articles like this more and more on a regular basis. So I do want to comment about this. The article that we're going to be talking about in today's video, there'll be a link to it in the video description below. This article is entitled, Report, Collectibles Market Valued at an Estimated $622 billion. And the subtitle reads, After recent robust growth, the industry could grow to $1 trillion by 2033. Now, before we go any further, no disrespect against the article's author, Ben Barrows, and no disrespect against the website that posted this particular piece. It was www.cllct.com. If you don't know what CLLCT stands for, it's an acronym, obviously, for collect. They just pulled out the O and the E, and CLLCT it is. So this particular article did premiere on July 16th, 2024, and I do want to talk about it because a lot of the Timmies, Kimmies, and Poindexters, they see an article like this, and they think, I'm making a wise decision by putting all my money in comic books or Pokemon cards or vintage toys or whatever their favorite collecting category is. The problem is, guys, just because the collectibles market is estimated to grow from $622 billion to $1 trillion in the next 9 years, it means absolutely nothing, simply due to the fact that we don't know what collectible categories are going to be growing. Let's be realistic. You can go out into the market and you can invest in vintage Japanese space toys, and you could say, hey, I'm investing in the collectibles marketplace at present time. Does anybody really believe, though, that vintage Japanese space toys are going to go up in value across the board over the next 9 years? Or is the market going to belong to Pokemon? Or is the market going to really belong to vintage Star Wars pieces? Or is the market going to really behave in a way that no one can predict? Maybe a dead and dying antique collecting category gets new life and starts to monopolize the trade in the next 5 to 10 years. That could happen as well. My point is, articles like this are very misleading. They are very hype generating. They get the Timmies, Kimmies, and Poindexters excited for something that may come, but yet they can't quantify it. When we look at the antiques and collectibles trade, there is no way to buy in to some type of index fund that covers the plethora of categories that make up both the antique side of the equation and the collectible side of the equation. When you are investing in these markets, it is akin, if we are going to compare it to something related to Wall Street, and I don't like this idea because remember, when you're investing in antiques and collectibles, you're investing in items with no underlying cash flows. They're totally dependent on the greater fool theory. But if we're going to talk about investing in individual antiques and collectibles, that can be compared to investing in individual stocks. So if I told you that the overall economy, the overall stock market, is projected to double in size in the next 5 years, does that mean because you bought Dow Chemical stock or Nike stock, your stock is going to guarantee to go up in value? No. If you know that the stock market is going to increase exponentially across the board, you would just park your money, the advice that I give you, in a simple index fund. There's no equivalent to that in the overall antiques and collectibles trade. Therefore, articles like this are nothing but hype. They have no meaning behind them. Because even me, I'm a consultant, I'm an expert in the trade, I have a hard time analyzing what markets are going to go boom and bust over the next 5 to 10 years. Now, I can look at the aggregate as a whole. I can go back and study the history of certain markets and make educated guesses. But overall, I don't have a crystal ball. And neither does the author of this piece. Therefore, guys, be very careful whenever someone says to you, the collectibles market is estimated to grow by X number of percent over the next few years. It is impossible, nearly impossible, to predict what markets that percentage increase is going to occur in. Now, obviously, if we look at what's hot right now, Pokemon cards, vintage toys, coins, certain markets of that caliber, we can pretty much make a guess that in most cases, those markets aren't going anywhere. But there's no guarantee those markets are going to continue to increase exponentially in value over the next few years. Therefore, if you're one of the individuals that emailed me this article telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about because all these markets are going to go to the moon, they're going to go to Mars, and they're going to come right back around and hit you in your anus, I'm sorry, you're dead wrong. There's no guarantee here. Just because money is being spent on antiques and collectibles does not mean it's going to create demand in the item that you collect or the categories that you covet. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video. So in conclusion here, guys, just be careful when you come across an article like this. Just view it through the lens of this being a very generic, hype-driven article designed to attract the attention of the Timmies, Kimmies, and Poindexters out there that do not understand how markets in the overall antiques and collectibles trade operate over the short term or over the long term. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, I will post a link to this article in the video description below. Feel free to take the time to read it. And again, this video, I am not attacking the website in which this article premiered or the author. I understand what they're doing. I just don't agree with the perception that a lot of the readers are going to have after they read this article verbatim. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.